Okay, so it seems like we have a little bit of an update on the Takahata101 situation. Essentially, if you guys don't know, Takahata recently released a statement talking about his relationship with a person called Mistress Doom, who obviously, he had been in a relationship with for over 9 years, he said, on and off, obviously. And obviously he explained a situation which happened between the two, which is being spread around, and obviously it kind of revealed the main cause of a lot of the rumors going around about him in the background, and he explained it pretty well, I'd say. Honestly, I think that's one of the best ways he could have kind of responded to this, with a ton of different evidence, with like screenshots and texts and things, which honestly, looked pretty convincing to me. And obviously a lot of people have been supporting him over on his post and telling him, like, they're so sorry that he's had to go through this. Obviously some people are still skeptical, and I think that's why this post obviously has 300,000 views and only 3k likes. I feel like a lot of people are kind of just like waiting for what really comes out about this, because obviously, in every single situation, you've kind of got to, factor in both sides and, what a lot of people are doing. Now, obviously, Takahata, you did make a really good statement, but obviously Mistress Doom then obviously came out with her own response, which we covered in the last video, but it seems like she's come out with another response now, talking about her situation. Obviously, this was the first one. If you guys want to go look at that, that'll be in my last video, but obviously, she actually came out with a second post, which obviously it says here, hey all, I promised I'd update once I had updated to all relevant authorities, which I spent all day yesterday doing. Due to this being an ongoing police investigation, I cannot say or post anything regarding the situation at all until it is resolved in the legal system. This is going to take time. It's a very serious situation. It's across multiple countries, so all I can do is ask you to give everyone the space and time involved to let the legal system resolve it. This is not a public matter. It will not be resolved in the court of public opinion. No one had spoken publicly on X has done it with my consent. They hadn't spoken to me regarding the situation or some ever at all. Outing my identity was not okay and was done very much without my consent, and it is in the hands of the police as well. I, as the reported victim of these crimes, was entitled to anonymity, and anonymity I never gave up. I'm trusting the police to handle this situation, and I will continue to do so. In my opinion, there are no sides in this matter. It is a serious situation that has caused immense distress and suffering for myself and others involved. I believe that everyone should treat this with the severity it deserves and trust the legal system to solve it. There are two sides to every story, and you have only seen one and will not see the other, maybe ever, but at minimum not until in the legal system, which could take years. All I'm saying is that you respect the situation and allow police the ability to do their jobs. Watch who you want, support who you want, work with who you want, use your own judgment, do not spread hate. If you see anyone you deem as my side spreading hate or harassing anyone, know it is not coming from me, and I do not allow that. If you tell me that's happening, I will act accordingly. I also very clearly want to state there is no doc from me in existence regarding this. There were mentions to making one, but I never actually did make one. I truly believe I do not hold the right to cancel anybody's career. People can support who they want, and that is their choice, which I respect. People often preach online that people should go to the police if they believe they experience a crime. I chose to do that, and I stand by that, which I can definitely understand is a fair enough kind of thing. Obviously, I always say that as well. It's one of these things that should have never been made public. I don't think Takahata should have made it public either, obviously, but there's been a lot of rumors that have been going around in the background that maybe he felt it necessary to do so, but again, I still don't think that was the best decision. I think it should have been handled in private, and the way that it is apparently being handled right now through obviously legal systems. So obviously, that should be the way to go, and I always say that with every single similar case to this, is that this shouldn't be some weird Twitter war online, right? It should be actually handled with the police, and obviously that seems like what Mistress Doom is doing here. Now, obviously, she is not very supported in either of these posts, and obviously that's that's due to public opinion. But again, I am pretty kind of 50-50 on this. Again, I don't really fully believe in Takahata, but I don't fully believe in Mistress Doom either. Again, I think there is a lot of missing evidence from Mistress Doom, and a lot of missing kind of context, which has not been provided. Now, she says that's due to the police investigation, which could be true. But then also Takahata has provided a lot of proof on his end. But again, it is one of those cases where you got to, kind of weigh up both sides, but it's kind of hard when you don't really have much of a side from the other side, right? So again, as they say, this could be something that we learn about in a couple years time whenever the court actually kind of figures out what has really gone on here. But they say, as for my mental health, no one has the right to speak on that aside from myself and professionals involved in my care. I've been working so incredibly hard the past few months to heal with support from the our crisis charity, who honestly have been nothing short of amazing. Regardless of what you believe, there's genuine trauma for me regarding the situation. With that said, going forwards, I am going to continue to create content for my community and those who support me, and continue my fundraising efforts for causes I care about, because that's what I enjoy doing. My future posts will not speak about the situation, nor will I engage in any post about it. I will continue to work with the police and create for the community I love so deeply. If you see people posting claiming to be on my behalf, then no, it's not. If you don't want to support me or my work, that's fine. I fully respect your decision and wish you nothing but the best. For those that do, I look forward to working with you. I simply ask that people respect my decision as well. Please do not bring this online space. Comments beyond this post will be deleted. Please just let the police do their job, which obviously, I can definitely respect the fact that, obviously she's apparently talking to the police. Obviously, if she is doing that, then that is great. That is the right thing you need to do, regardless of whether you think she's in the right or wrong here. Obviously, it's up to the police and the courts and everything to decide that, not us on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, right? And even if that does mean that maybe she's got some things wrong here, and the police find out that she has been, saying the wrong things, and Takahata's innocent, then also that is something for the police to decide. Either way you swing it, right? Even if Mistress Doom was right about a lot of the stuff, and Takahata, was wrong, and she was actually innocent, it's either way, and obviously that is for the police to decide, and not Twitter. But again, I think that it is one of these situations which is very murky, very interesting, and it's just one of these situations which has been going on for a little bit of a while now, and it's just confusing, for a lot of people. And obviously a lot of people have been replying to this saying, the reason you dragged this out for months and refused to move it forwards via ghosting lawyers was because full offense, but too much isn't making sense. If you wanted to stay legal and private, you would have actually moved the case forward and not told third parties. And obviously, yeah, I can definitely understand that. I think, obviously Takahata talked about some avoiding lawyers, right? Which obviously is very interesting, especially whenever you are wanting to sort it through the legal system. Why would you avoid someone else's lawyers? It's not like he's talking to you directly. Maybe she has some reason, but again, she hasn't explained that, so we don't know why. Also, yeah, obviously they talk about the fact that it was leaked through third parties. We don't know to what kind of extent that is, because obviously I can totally understand her wanting to confide in close friends about a situation like this. Obviously, I think we'd all do the same. If something like this was to happen to you, you would probably, talk to your close friends about it, if you were comfortable in doing so, right? So again, I can totally understand that, and potentially maybe some of those friends then leaked it to more people, who leaked it to more people, who leaked it to more, and obviously then it starts to go in a big waterfall, which could be how this information got out in the first place. But also, we don't know. There's been no explanation. It could also be her literally telling these people. Again, we don't know. She hasn't explained, and obviously that is why a lot of this has been kind of thrown up in the air, because she hasn't really explained much of her side of the story, right? And Takahata, on the other hand, has explained everything that he has done with evidence, which obviously is making him look a little bit better at the moment. But again, obviously we'll have to wait to see if Mistress Doom has to say anything, because again, she's saying that the police are dealing with it, so she can't say anything. But it's just a matter of time until, I guess, we hear anything about it. We were saying, well, this is a hard situation. A question must be asked. If it wasn't you, then who leaked the info? Who knew about what happened and then shared it to the public over time, made it public? Why were they allowed to talk about it? Which is, yeah, true. But as I said, there is a possibility she confided in close friends, and obviously it leaked out. But again, this lack of kind of telling us, a lack of clarifying exactly what happened, is the thing that is leading people to a lot of confusion, and just either theorizing about things or making things up, which obviously can go down a pretty bad kind of route. But obviously, yeah, someone else responded in a picture, which is weird. I've never seen anybody do that, but again, unless it's for some big announcement. But hey, they said, I'm doing my best to look at this post with a level head, given the information that's been currently presented to me. In your first paragraph, you said you could not say or post anything regarding the situation at all. However, you spoke to several people about said situation and did not give the same anonymity to the person involved in the matter. through the past several months, we've been able to ascertain who some of these individuals you spoke to are, and they too supposedly told others as well. However, it was only recently, due to the fact that everything was brought to light, that the other party had done what they could within the legal system to hopefully maintain a line of communication during the supposed legal proceedings, only to have no response from your litigation. In that way, silence can speak 1,000 words, and that brings us to where we are now. Both people traumatized, communities in shock, and lines drawn in the sand, which obviously, yeah, I mean, that's actually a pretty good response. You know, I'm sorry for dissing the image there, but I think that's a pretty good kind of reply to that. It is very confusing because, again, there is multiple kind of different ideas and things that are coming out, which just doesn't really make sense. You know, things aren't adding up. There's a lot of different like evidence and a lot of different claims and things come from both sides, which doesn't add up. For example, obviously the lawyers, obviously them not getting a response. Why? That's one of the biggest reasons for me. Why would they not respond if you do want to settle this legally, right? I don't know why that was the case. Maybe she just thought there's another way out. Again, I don't know. But obviously as well, Takahata has, you know, pretty openly explained what went on in his kind of situation. As you know, as much as you may disagree with how he brought it to light publicly or whatever, obviously he felt like, you know, it was getting to a pretty bad state at the moment. But again, also, you know, he's obviously been talking to his lawyers, as he was told, you know, obviously to keep quiet for all of this time while they sort things out. So I'm assuming they went through the post. Again, we don't really know about that either. So again, it's just one of these situations which is very interesting. Obviously, Mistress Doom says she's not going to speak any more about this, obviously, unless, I guess, there was some kind of conclusion. But the thing is, what I don't want to happen is for there to be no conclusion, right? I don't want it to be like there will be a conclusion, it's being investigated, and then it never be talked about again, because obviously, you know, that can have a big effect on Takahata. And, you know, there has been cases in the past of people saying like, oh, there's an investigation going on, and then we hear nothing, you know, and then nothing comes out. For example, the Astro Arcadia situation, we saw that, and obviously there has been no kind of response apart from Astro Arcadia obviously being booted out of Nijisanji. But again, obviously we didn't hear anything about the interview, sorry, not the interview, the investigations, despite, you know, all of the kind of claims that they were going to tell us what was going on. So, you know, it's one of those situations. Are we going to hear something from her in the future, probably in the far future, right? Or are we going to hear nothing, and this is all, you know, a way to get away from it all? Again, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. And, you know, if she does make a response to this, a response to, you know, her post later on, to all of the kind of proceedings that have gone on, then that would be great to see. Because, again, I do like to see both sides of the story. And obviously, I'm not, you know, on either side here, but, you know, some things just aren't adding up to me at the moment. But again, it is very hazy, very, very difficult to navigate at the moment. So again, I'll keep you guys up to date if there's anything else on the situation, but so far it seems like that is going to be it for now. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see if either of them say anything in the future, but I feel like it's not going to be something that's going to be brought up much for a little bit. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off again. They got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.